Hey everybody, this is Captain Frank with the Ship's Log. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you might remember that back in late 2020, early 2021, I did a review of the 2021 Yamaha FX Cruiser SVHO. Well, times change, and so do the machines. So behind me, we have a 2024 Yamaha FX SVHO. And we're going to put it through its tests and tell you what we think about it.
Before we get into the testing, let's take a look at some of the specs of the 2024 Yamaha FX SVHO. This is a three-seater. It is 140.9 inches long and 50 inches wide. So this literally makes it the largest PWC that you can get, or at least the largest out of the big three. That's a big plus if you're looking for stability. It's powered by a 1.8 liter supercharged Yamaha engine. That is the largest engine in the PWC industry as well. Fuel capacity is 18.5 gallons. It also includes the Yamaha Ride system, which gives you additional control in slow maneuvering, reverse, braking. It also has a TDE mode for approaching docks and pulling it up onto the trailer and so on and so forth. Audio and Bluetooth are standard with this model. It has an 8-inch touchscreen, built-in GPS, a USB charger for your phone, a regular 12-volt charger, a reboarding step on the back. Total weight is 873 pounds dry. Top speed is limited to 67 miles per hour. And of course, that's typical with most PWCs in this particular category. They're capable of going faster than that, but because of restrictions, they are limited at 67. And last but not least, the hull material is SMC fiberglass.
Now, as far as the controls are concerned, things haven't changed a whole lot, but they have changed the location of some of the controls a bit just to make the machine a little bit more ergonomic to ride. But of course, over here you have your reverse throttle right here. So this allows you to actually put the machine in reverse neutral. It can also act as a brake if you're moving at a high speed and you need to slow down quickly. This of course is for your lanyard, your shutoff lanyard. Make sure you actually have that attached and then attached to you so that if you do fall off the ski, it will shut the ski down. This button right here, or these buttons right here, have a dual purpose trim and TDE. When you are up on plane, when you're running forward, this allows you to trim the nozzle up and down to adjust your ride. When you are at idle speed, this is what we call your TDE. When you're either at idle speed or if you're in neutral. This will actually put the ski in either a very slow forward or very slow reverse speed, basically slower than idle, which is actually very useful for approaching a dock or putting it on the trailer. This is for your cruise and no wake. I like the placement of here because on the older versions, the cruise button was and no wake button was actually on this side, but now the cruise button is here. Again, this is a two-purpose button. So when you are up on plane and you're wanting to set your cruise assist, you use your right throttle to adjust your speed. Then you can hit this button with your left hand and now your cruise assist is on, and then you can use your minute adjustments on the right side if you need to. But when you are at idle and you hit this button and hold it for a couple of seconds, that puts the ski in no wake mode. So it actually runs it at about 2,000 RPM, which is about 5 miles an hour, which allows you to run at that speed without actually having to hold the throttle over on that side. Now, over here on the right side, this is your start-stop button. So for starting and stopping the ski. This is your speed adjust button. This is so that when you are in cruise assist mode, if you need to bump your speed up a little bit or bump it down a little bit without having to reset the cruise, you can do that right here. Also, when you are in no wake mode, this allows you to adjust slightly up, a no wake +1, if you will, or a no wake -1 to make small adjustments in your no wake speed. This, of course, is your main throttle over here on the right side. Right here, just as before, a very spacious storage compartment here. I mean, you can fit way more than just your phone up there. I've crammed a lot of stuff in here, you know, not to mention your radio, whatever, but, you know, phone, radio, wallet, just whatever else you need to carry that you need to have quick access to while you're on the water. It's really, really, really nice having a compartment this spacious here. One of the downsides, and this has happened to me before, is there's so much space here, I cram so much stuff in here, that now when I'm looking for something specific, it's hard to find because you got so much stuff in there. So that's one thing you have to be careful of. Up here, you may not be able to see it, but up here in the right corner here, it also actually has a holder for your cell phone, which is nice. There's also a cell phone, or I should say a USB charger, so you can charge your phone. And there's also the traditional cigarette lighter charger. So any other devices that may need to be charged, you can charge with that as well. Obviously, there is a limit as to how much power you can get there. You're not going to be pushing something in there or trying to plug something in there that requires a high amount of power, but it's actually very convenient to have. So definitely love what they've done here. Now, back to the left side, underneath the handlebars, these are controls for your audio system. One of the things with the FXs now is there's no, you can get it with audio or not with audio. It's standard with audio. So that you're going to have these audio buttons for controlling your volume, for moving forward and back with your song or your music or whatever. You also have a button to activate your telephone. You've got microphones here. So that when you are using it in phone mode, it can pick up your voice and so on and so forth. So kind of nice to have. It works pretty well. So I'll talk about that in more detail later on. And over here on the right side, underneath the handlebars, you have your controls for your Connect screen. The Connect screen is a larger screen than some of the previous versions. I believe they went to this larger screen in 2022. So it's an 8-inch screen. It makes it really easy to view pretty much anything you want on the screen. We'll get a look at that for you later on. But these are the controls for that Connect screen. So you can actually go back and forth through your menus. You can click OK. You can go back. So it is also a touch screen as well. So if you are sitting at idle or sitting at a dock, you can use the touchscreen feature. Obviously, if you're running across the water, it's kind of hard to do that. So that's where this comes in right here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the touchscreen is actually larger than previous versions. It's still made by the same company that made the other ones, Connects. It's just a larger screen. So you're okay, we're getting the beeping because it's low on fuel. So, but there are several different screens that you can choose from. Your home screen, of course, tells you this stuff that you would typically know. You want to know your fuel level, your speed, even has a clock for your time, you know, voltage, your trim level, all of those things that you'll find right there on the home screen. But you also have a screen for GPS. Now, in order to make the GPS be able to tell you where you are, there is a separate GPS module that you have to get. It's about $200. You order it from, I think the name of the company is Enovation. It will shut down after a while if it's not running. But I think Enovation is the name of the company. But when you order that, you can then take it, you can insert it into the back and you have your map. I'm sitting at my house, of course, so it's not really showing any waterways or anything like that. But I do have some pictures that I took when out on the water that you can actually see what it looks like. But in my opinion, the GPS actually works really well. I mean, I've used a lot of different GPS units before, the one on my boat, the one on my previous ski, Garmin, Humminbird, so on and so forth. And I do like the way this one works. I'm happy with it. So there's your GPS screen. You now have your trip information screen. Thank you. Where it gives you things like your trip time, how many miles you've gone, average fuel consumption, all of that stuff. Of course, you can scroll up to look at all of the stuff that you have, how much fuel you use, which is very important. Particularly when you do a lot of exploring like I do, knowing how much fuel I have used is so very important. Because we all know the actual fuel gauges, they are a suggestion. But how much fuel you've actually used, when you look at that here, that's pretty accurate. As long as you know that you have reset it when you refuel. So every time I refuel, I reset it, which sets the fuel used, the miles gone, blah, 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 sets all this stuff back to zero. The only thing it doesn't set back to zero is the engine hours. So that way I know everything that I've done since I left. So that's very important. But I like this feature as well. This was only on the older models. It was just a different look on those. Then you have your drive modes. And I'll tell you that I haven't tried all of these. Oops, I must have hit that button accidentally. I have not tried all of these, but there's an economy, performance, comfort, tow, and custom. And the economy, of course, it sets you up for the best fuel economy. That's one I did play around with just a little bit, and what it did is it basically limited the ski to 30 miles an hour. It limited the acceleration rate, so it didn't accelerate quite as quickly. And it also disables the trim. It leaves the trim pretty much at a medium rate, so you can't go up or down with the trim. So that's kind of expected. The performance, that's kind of the one that people have been asking for on this ski. It's something that you found on the GP 1800R for a long time, but you didn't really find on the FX models because the FXs are considered more of a cruiser, not a performance ski. Even though this thing is fast as all get out, it's still a large ski, so it's considered a cruiser. But people were still asking, do you have launch mode? Well, guess what? They don't call it launch mode, but it's performance mode. When you put this thing in performance mode, it automatically adjusts the trim for you so that you get up on plane as quickly as possible, and then you get that top speed as quickly as you can. So, but I have not tried I did try the comfort mode, and that actually leaves your trim at a medium level. And also, I believe it controls your acceleration. But I haven't tried all of the rest of these yet. I'm not sure what tow mode does, and I haven't played around with the custom mode, but I know that the custom mode allows you to pretty much set your own settings. And of course, since you have speakers, you've got a sound system on the machine, this is the page where you can actually look and see what's playing, a volume level, and stuff like that. Of course, I don't have anything playing right now, but that's what that's for. You've got your settings where you can do things like set your pin, set the display options, units, whether it's imperial or metric or whatever, set your language, all that stuff you're going to see right here. Again, still low fuel. So you have all those settings there. And of course, this is for locking and unlocking the machine. So rather than having a key, you have a code that you punch in. So when you click OK, now if I go to unlock, of course, you'd punch your code in and you'd hit the engine button and then you'd click unlock. Of course, I'm not going to punch my code in right now, but anyway, that's how that works. I like the way that they have gone. I like the way that they've gone to just a push button, and rather than having to do the dials and stuff like they had to before. But anyway, so that's how you lock it. You don't have a key. You have to know the unlock code before you start it. A lot of people ask the question, do you have to do that literally every time you start it? No, you unlock it and it stays unlocked until you lock it again. So you unlock it at the beginning of a day, you go out, have your fun, do your exploring, do your riding, whatever it is you want to do. And then when you're done with it, or you're maybe going to walk away from it for a while, you lock it. and then it can't be started again until somebody unlocks it. This right here allows you to just either stay in accessory mode or shut down. Stay in accessory mode is allowing you to, listen to your stereo and things like that. If you do choose shut down, then it just goes ahead and shuts the machine down and it shuts off. Keep in mind, if you are in accessory mode, just don't forget and leave it in accessory mode, because you're going to run your battery down. You can't go out there. Sure, you can use your stereo for a bit and enjoy it when the engine is shut down, but I would not do that for long periods of time. It's not as large as a car battery, and keep in mind with jet skis, they don't charge batteries like cars do. They don't put energy back into the battery as quickly as a car does. So you just have to be careful when leaving it in accessory mode and just using it to listen to the stereo. It does have a feature where when the battery voltage starts getting low, it will shut it down out of accessory mode so that you don't completely run it dead. And I think that's a good idea. But still, just do some monitoring of that on your own as well. And I think you'll be in good shape. So anyway, that's it for the screen. So I think the next thing that we probably have to do is go out and ride this thing. Well, it is late February, not a bad day for late February. Temperature's around 60 degrees. Water, of course, is chilly, but this is the first time out here on the 2024 FX SVHO. It's a great day for it. Definitely need to go through the break-in period first, so I'm not going to really hit it hard from the beginning, but I'll get a pretty good idea as to how this machine performs, especially compared to the one that I had before this. So let's get it started.
Considering this is my first time riding the ski, I started to wonder whether I was really going to be able to put it through its paces in this ride. After all, this was basically just the break-in ride. I might need to do another ride somewhere else later. So everything performed flawlessly. But of course, I was just going through the break-in period. And of course, when you're doing a break-in, there's only so much you should do with your ski. I didn't run it very hard, but it did pass the break-in test. At this point, I was thinking, yeah, maybe we should give it a little bit more of a test to really find out how good this thing is. Maybe Lake Lanier isn't just quite the test that we need. Okay, more sunshine, warmer weather, bigger water. I think this is what we need. As expected, the FX Cruiser handles the waves pretty well. It tracks quite well and it resists the tendency to allow the waves to push it in one direction or the other. Considering the waves that we had out on the Gulf that day, it was still a pretty comfortable ride. The waterways around St. Pete and Clearwater can get quite confusing. It was pretty easy to use the GPS to find out where we were and where we wanted to go. Cruising at a comfortable speed back out on open water, it was really easy to hear the music coming through the stereo speakers. It would probably be a little bit more difficult to hear the music when you're at full throttle, but then again, when you're at full throttle, who needs music? So, the FX SVHO did great here, but we still have one more place to go. There we go. Let's see how this thing handles when the path isn't so straight. River rides are some of the most fun rides that you can do on a ski, especially when the river is not straight. The Yamaha FX handles the curves really well, and tracking is true even if you're actually going over some wake from a ski in front of you. It was kind of fun to come out of one turn and then just gently toss it into the next one. It was also evident that it can probably handle more of a turn than you can. It literally goes where you tell it to go. It handles quite well for a ski this size while maintaining that big, comfy couch comfort. If the river straightens out and the water is flat, it's really hard to resist squeezing the throttle all the way to the wide open position. This is when you are reminded as to why you bought this machine. You might have noticed that normally you don't see the screen in my camera view, but this time you do, because the wind has actually pushed my camera all the way back. And yep, that is also enough to make the skin on your face wrinkle. Well, to say that I am happy with this machine is an understatement. I am absolutely thrilled with it. The fact that it's a large machine works really well for me because I'm a big guy. It's also exciting to know that just going to a larger machine doesn't mean you have to give up speed and agility. No, it doesn't have the same agility as a GP series, but for its size, it does really well. Yamaha has done a really nice job of taking the features that are most important to me as a rider and putting them on a machine that looks good and performs well. I hope you have enjoyed this video and I hope you found it helpful. If you'd like to see more content like this, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I also welcome any comments you have on my content or on this machine or any other machine that you have. Until next time, happy riding.